Be seen 985. Did anyone hear President Obama's speech this morning in Maryland to talk about the Affordable Care Act? The president says that any employer that has at least 50 full-time employees must provide health insurance or face a penalty. Companies are already getting around that. What will President Obama do about it? I'm not an Obama bot, nor am I an emo prog. I just want the president I voted for to actually do what he was saying to do. Is that too much to ask? I don't know how they're getting around that. I believe that mandate has been delayed for an extended period of time, for a year. But all that means is that they won't pay that fine. People who are employed by them can go into the exchanges, and depending on the amount of money you make, if you are 400% above the poverty line, or I should say, if you're 400% below the poverty line, you will get subsidies. If you are not, you will get prices in the exchange, which on balance will be less than what you're paying both in the individual markets, and I don't know how it stacks up against what your employee coverage was, but I will tell you this, that there's been a lot said about employers are raising my rates and they're blaming the Affordable Care Act. That is a sack of crap. Go back and look at what their increases in rates were last year, the year before, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, before anyone even knew what the Affordable Care Act was. They're increasing rates because they increase rates. Sammy, companies get around the mandate by keeping workers under 30 hours a week. They've been using that workaround for years here in Hawaii. I mean, that may be the case, but the reality is that when you look at the economic data that came out in the last jobs figures, the reality is, I mean, it's possible there are individual, companies that are doing this, but the reality is that the jobs numbers don't bear that out. That narrative was really debunked by the latest job numbers. There just simply has not been an increase, a significant increase in part-time work versus full-time work. It's just not the case. In fact, part-time work has dropped. So it is quite possible that there are a handful of companies out there doing it. But anecdotal evidence is not a substitute for actual hard data. That's just the reality.